In the words of Jasmine Sullivan, these hoes be winning. Yo, my thing is you love who you love. However, Angel Meech, I don't ever want to hear you talk about Terry and his selection of women ever again. Because in my opinion, Terry got Meech beat by a long shot. Even though we don't like Markeisha, Angel slobbed the knob of the person trying to unalive him when he was gone for like 2 weeks out of town. She could have talked to anyone else. I am so baffled. You love who you love. I get it. He just better not ever talk about his brother again. That is it. I'm done. So both of the brothers don't like any of their choices. And as the audience, we don't either. So Terry's in the club and he's like, what's Angel doing here? Meanwhile, he got Markeisha up in the hotel room and Meech looked like he was just happy to see her. He's like, and all of a sudden, all the MKs turn around and Terry's like, did you know she was messing with the ops? Terry is shocked, just like we all are. And he can't seem to figure that out either. Because Terry bought this complaining chick. And she's like, we're on vacation. Mind you, there is a whole war going out. He came for business and just brought Markeisha along. But you know what? It's not even Markeisha's fault. He didn't want to leave Markeisha there for the cop to sweep her away. So he's like, oh, we're going to go on vacation. So he told her that they were on vacation and then locks her in a room for 2 days. Now, granted, it was hot. Like there was war going on. So they had to be for their safety. So when Meech comes in with Terry and Angel and they're like, Markeisha, you got to stay put for your safety. Of course, Markeisha is complaining. Oh, I'm thoroughbred. I've been with Boom. We know, Markeisha. We know. When Meech hands Angel the weapon, now Markeisha never asked for a weapon and all the time she's dating Terry. You're not going to give me one? Markeisha, you never wanted one. A couple of minutes ago, you just said you was good in the streets. You went out to the beach. And then Markeisha got the nerve to tell Terry she held him down from the hospital bed. I'm like, how? But I guess when the cops were questioning her, but come on, the name of the game is shut up anyway. That's one thing you better have done. So they go to meet the mechanic Connect, and he's salty because he got stood up in the club because stuff was flying off. And he's sitting there building this ugly ass robot. And Terry's like, I want to buy it. And in my head, I'm like, Markeisha is not going to let you put that thing in that house. It was hideous. $250,000. Well, maybe he could just use it for parts. It probably could make one heck of a car or something. So they're trying to persuade this guy, the mechanic, to work with them so that he can build them safes in the car. The mechanic, he's very selective of who he works with. And I think the fact that Meech stood him up, he was extremely salty. At the end, he ends up agreeing to work with them. Now you got Glock in Miami and he knows that his enemies are there. But what surprised me is that Angel is sitting here at the funeral of Glock's guy. And she was walking around. I'm like, Glock, no, you hang around him. This is very odd. So I guess Glock made a plan to follow Angel, which Angel loses him and goes to Meek. And Meek is like, answer the phone when I call you.
Meech.
Man, where you been at?
I was just returning the favor.
But that wasn't payback. That was feelings.
Your boy is sprung. And Remy is consistently trying to find out what Meech is up to. And his team is like, yo, but he has that pure weight. Remy's like, I don't care. He's an outsider. Remy is a snitch, by the way, because he is the one that alerted the Red Dogs because somebody gave him word that Meech left with a whole bunch of vans and that they're probably going to pick up the weight. Because at the end, Meech is like, I don't know who snitched, but Remy, no. Y'all got to figure out how y'all want this mic because I'm trying to figure out what is the best position. So I know y'all seeing this mic going crazy over here, moving left and right, up and down. So if somebody could tell me which way looks better, I'd appreciate it. Glock finds out he's at the hotel because he got people all over the place. They get into a little powwow. I think Glock gets hit by his own men. I don't think anyone was unalived. in this episode, which brings me to my main man, Hoops. Henry is out of control. Henry is under the impression that the person that took out her right-hand man was Terry because he was placed close to Terry's restaurant. However, we know that it was not, and she should have did a better investigation. She's so ticked off that she goes and she gets Terry's right-hand man. That's my baby. Hoops is like the funniest person in this show. But the fact that he did a little jumble and move and switch, it let us know he's still alive. Until he goes lights out on the camera, he's still alive. Somebody probably going to call 911 immediately, and he is going to be A-OK. We got to talk about the two crooked cops in the room. Jen and Brian, they are the worst. I mean, they're technically not cops temporarily, but we know they're probably going to get their job back at some point if Jen makes it. Because Jen, first of all, she wanted Henry. She came up there to do a job and put a mic in Henry's staff. Nobody told her. Well, she had to take him back to the room because the cops walked in. She's in the house with Henry. She puts the mic inside Henry's cane. Now, this was the most retarded thing I've ever thought of, because you know, if you have a cane or whatever, you're rubbing all over it. You're playing with the mouth. I mean, at least I would be playing with it. So, you know, at some point, all Henry got to do is just rub the mouth part of it, and the mic is going to poke her right there. Come on. And who else was close enough to put a mic on her? Jen, I think you signed it. You're done. You're delivered. You're sealed. And then after all is said and done, all Jen has to do is leave. And Henry gave her the option to leave. She was like, I'm not holding you. And Jen is like, I want it. She needed to release. And that girl was attracted to Henry. I don't know what kind of stuff Henry got going on, but it seems like every female, aside from Markeisha, wants the Henry stuff. Poor writing. Come on. Everybody. And then Mr. and Mrs. Crooked Cop, Detective Bryant tells Jen, yeah, I unalived Henry's right-hand man. An eye for an eye. And then dumps him by Terry's place. How are you the moral person? Y'all letting off bodies, hiding stuff, starting wars, but y'all the good guys. This is an oxymoron. And finally, real quick, we got the whole Lucille and Charles. Okay, all right. Nope, Charles, I like the dance with his daughter. The dance with his daughter was magnificent and it was wonderful. She needed it, and she needed the heart-to-heart talk. It pretty much broke his heart when Nicole, no man wants to hear their daughter say,
I'll never let Breeze treat me the way you treated Mama. I didn't mean it like that.
Yes, you did.
The hurt in that man's face. But he handled it like a gentleman, and he spoke to his daughter about Breeze, and he pretty much wanted her to take her time. And it was a good choice of music. I love the song. I'm so old school. Anyway, Lucille and the doctor. Oh, I don't know. They're boring at this point. Do it, don't do it. I don't care. She's ready. Last episode, she was ready for the car. Now she's, I don't know. It's like, girl, you are so wishy-washy. I don't know. Put her back in the car or something. And I guess she wants to make sure she's divorced first before she starts messing with this guy. But again, we do not know this guy. And I don't know how she tells Charles, I'm in love with the doctor. I'm like, do we know anything about him still? How are y'all so in love? They're making it look like it's really real. Yo, the writers can't be this crazy because there was a gap. It's been 20 years. If they don't really get into something, they are not being realistic. And by the way, FYI, guys, we got a whole week break for no reason. The season finale. I mean, to be honest, this episode was not exciting. And I know I'm going to see all the memes going up about how BMF is putting people to sleep. It's not that bad. I'm not excited about episode 10. Like, it's like, okay, lay it on us. Anyway, I am trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. So please hook your girl up. I want to be monetized. Please hit that like and subscribe. No, I thank y'all so much. I'm Amina Rose.